Hello everyone, my name is Ben Marwick. I'm a member of the task force on the revision of the SAA Principles of Archaeological Ethics, Stage 2, and I'm also an associate professor at the University of Washington. I'm just going to give a very quick overview of some of the methods that we're using in the analysis of your responses to the survey. I really want to encourage you to take it. We already have a lot of analysis done already of the preliminary work, and it's really exciting, and we're really looking forward to sharing it with you. So this is what I'll quickly cover in just a couple of minutes, some of the things we're doing to protect your privacy and how we're dealing with some of the different types of questions in the survey. We have an IRB review, and it's determined that the survey is exempt from federal human subject regulations. It means it's quite low risk of any harm coming to you through any sort of breach of privacy or something like that. The survey is also compliant with the GDPR. That means you can ask for your stuff, your responses to be withdrawn at any time if you want. We've also anonymized a bunch of the responses in sharing the data amongst the task force. So to make sure that on the individual level of the individual response, we cannot identify any specific individual. When we release the results in aggregate, then we will put back on the actual values of the randomized values, so we can see which gender responds in a certain way to certain questions, this kind of thing. We have questions that are single option questions where you just choose one, and we will have a bar graph like this to report, and where there's groups of interest within the responses, we will show them like this. For multiple selection questions, where it's possible for you to choose more than one response to a question, we're going to use this type of plot that is known as an upset plot. It's a very nice way to visualize the most frequently chosen options and the most frequently chosen combinations of options. It's a really efficient, elegant, impactful way to communicate the results of multiple option questions. Likert scale, at the center of the survey are a bunch of Likert scale questions. For example, each of the current 9 principles of archaeological ethics. We asked you what do you think, strongly disagree, and it's sort of contemporary value, or strongly agree, or somewhere along the way. And then we have a visualization like this that allows us to see that, for example, this first principle is the most often agreed with one, and these two down here the most frequently people disagree or strongly disagree with. And by the way, this blurry text over here is not your eyes. I've pixelated the text here because these are the actual preliminary results of the survey responses we've got so far, but the SAA board have requested that we don't share them at this time. So I urge you to look for the results when the survey is out and request them from the president and the board, and ensure they get a wider audience as possible. There are a couple of places in the survey where you can make a free text response. You can just freely type a couple of words, many sentences, paragraphs, whatever you like. We are both going to read those and use qualitative coding methods, and we're also going to use computational unsupervised methods. And this visualization here just shows a word cloud here, a co-occurrence network of high frequency words, and a topic model distribution down here. So these are three really useful computational methods for making sense of a large amount of unstructured text, such as what we'll get in the survey. And the results are really very interesting. And if you've been following discussions around ethics and SAA over the last few years, I think you'll be quite satisfied with the responses, the results of our analysis of the survey results. And if you haven't taken the survey yet, please do make sure your voice is represented in there. You do not need to answer every single question. Even if you just respond to 1 or 2 questions, that's still a meaningful contribution to the survey, and your results will definitely become part of the analysis. We will explore relationships between responses and some of the demographic variables, such as age and location where you work and so on. Here, for example, you can see we have 6 choices here, and the frequency of choice distributed across, for example, say the number of years that the respondent has been active in archaeology. And you can clearly see this banana colored option. Remember, the SAA board are not allowing us to share any results just yet, but we're really excited to share them at the end. There's a lot of really interesting stuff that the community needs to see in responses so far. The banana one is most popular amongst people who've been in archaeology for 10 to 20 years, and for example, this purple one, more popular amongst people who've been in archaeology for 40 to 50 years. So to conclude, this is some of the ways that we're analyzing data. Please submit your response if you haven't. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the task force and the board of directors, we would like to thank you for watching this video. I want to remind you that the survey has been extended to June 5th so that we can obtain the broadest and most robust participation possible. The board is excited to both see and share the results of the survey, and we will be sharing them just as soon as the analysis is done once the survey is completed. Again, thank you so much for your participation.